Everybody's ready? Okay, so let's go. Good morning. My name is Giuseppe Nessi. I am the Dean of the Law School of this university, and I welcome you all today's briefing on this new course on Comparative European International Legal Studies. We will elaborate further in a couple of minutes, but before this, I would like to welcome also our rector, Professor Paolo Collini, who honored us with his presence and who is going to deliver a very short speech because he has a commitment. However, I thought that he has to be here because he is at least I would say, responsible, together with the School of Law, of this initiative, which started 3 years ago, and started with a chat we had in our office upstairs, looking at what was happening all over the world and what was happening in Italy. We thought that something was missing in our great organization, and this was exactly a course such as this that is starting today. But I would like to give him the floor, and then we will discuss further about how this initiative popped up, and how it developed, and how it will develop in the future. So please, Paolo, you have the floor.
Well, thanks. Thank you very much, Giuseppe. And I am very pleased to welcome all of you to the University of Trento, that is now your home. And for the next 3 years will be the place where you will spend most of your time. At least I hope you will do it, in the sense that your commitment to the program is part of what we expect you to do here. As Giuseppe was saying, I'm very glad to carry the responsibility, to share the responsibility, the moral responsibility, not the practical one. The practical one is completely in the hands of the Dean and the School of Law and the faculty of the School of Law. But I'm very pleased because this project was a very ambitious project that Giuseppe launched 3 years ago, and I've been pushing for it, that's true. And I'm very, very pleased that our university is one more time capable to show that we are always on the edge of the university system in Italy, I would say in Europe. As you probably know, there are no other legal studies programs in Italy in English, in a foreign language. Well, legal studies is a very country-specific area of studies. And so it's quite difficult to deal with these issues in a foreign language. And the attempt, more than attempt, it's a modern attempt now, but what the School of Law has done here is to try to take it at the level of the international law, and dealing with international law, dealing with international issues. The international language of English is clearly the language we have to use. So thank you very much for having accepted to take part of a very hard competition in getting into the program, because you know that you are a small number, a small share of a very high number of people that applied for the program. We have been very impressed by the quick success of the program in terms of demand. And we have hundreds of applications, and so you are the outcome of a very tough selection. So you should be very proud of being here, as we are very proud to have you here at our university, because we know that students that are choosing programs like this program are students with a very strong commitment, very ambitious, ready for the hard work they have to face, and they look forward for a great future in an area of the legal studies in a non-conventional way, at least for the Italian legal system. So I'm very pleased to welcome you here. It will be a great pleasure for me to follow the programs as long as the program will develop. You will know that we'll check personally, carefully, how the program is doing, because this program for us is a pilot project, and it's very important. It's a very strong strategic step we have taken toward the internationalization of our university. As you may know, the University of Trento, at least we consider ourselves quite a very internationalized university in the Italian systems. We see ourselves as a European university. As I usually say, Trento is not in the center of the country. In Italy, it's quite on the border, but if you look at to Trento from Europe, the Central Europe, we are very much closer to the center of Europe than the center of Italy. That's the way we see ourselves. Always a sort of bridge from the Latin country of Italy and the Europe as a whole. And so you're part of it. You will be part of this university for the next 3 years. I'm sure you will do as well as we expect you to do, and you will be asked to be the pioneers of this program, so we might face some difficulties because new things are always very difficult to manage, but we count on our flexibility in facing different issues, and we count on your flexibility and understanding that it is a prototype project. And, but the content, our School of Law is very well known in Europe for being one on the top in all the areas in which is involved in research and teaching. So you will enjoy a very great learning experience, and we enjoy to have you on board for the next 3 years. So thank you very much. Have a good luck, as we say at this point, and see you soon.
Thank you, Paolo, and you will carry also another responsibility, because as far as I remember, you will still be the rector when our first students will get their BA. So the appointment with you is in Piazza Duomo in 3 years' time, when the first students will get their degree. So thank you very much indeed for being here, and see you soon. Bye. Ciao, grazie. Ciao. Okay, so we will continue. I know that many of you are Italians, but I think that to get the habit of listening to English speakers and also to talk in English will be the first commitment for those who do not have enough experience, although I think that the selection the rector referred to means also that you are able to understand us when we speak, or not? Yes, of course. And I welcome also some of our Erasmus students who are here as listeners today, but I think they will follow some of the courses that will be delivered during this first year of CEILS. I also welcome and I introduce Professor Paola Iamiceli, who is our Deputy Rector for Teaching, Professor Marco Dani, who will inaugurate officially the course in 40 minutes, Professor Elena Ioriatti, who participated in the setting up phase of the course with other colleagues, Professor Ali, who will teach European Union law in this course. Thank you, Nino, for being here. I also invited some other colleagues, but they have other commitments, but you will surely know them and meet them in due course. I would like to start, before also asking you to take the floor and before giving the floor to Paola Iamiceli, I would like to ask, to start by recalling to myself, first of all, why CEILS or CEILS was set up. So allow me, first of all, to start with a personal note. I spent almost 10 years in New York working for the Italian mission to the UN and then for the President of the General Assembly, a Swiss guy. as legal advisor. And so I was not in Italy between 2001 and 2011. It was a period of great developments in universities. I was following what was happening, but I was really far from the real developments. However, I had a feeling. The feeling was that students in general, but mainly Italian students, and I make a specific reference also to some who wanted to have a solid legal background without engaging in traditional professions such as lawyers, barristers, judges, notaries, were asking something different from our courses, from our schools, from our law schools. At the same time, I was very much pleased by the fact that my faculty, the Faculty of Law of Trento, in spite of what was happening all over Italy, was gaining trust and was gaining students from all of Italy and sometimes also from abroad. The results that we have today, as far as the appeal of our course is concerned, with a ratio of 3 candidates for 1 post as a student at the University of Trento, gave me, I would say, enough strength and enough trust and enough unconsciousness to propose, together with many colleagues, a new idea. The idea that we had to attract students, not only in our bulk, which is surely the 5-year course, the Laurea Magistrale, which allows students to go for traditional professions, but also for other professions. But we had to set up something new that could have attract students not only from Italy, and mainly some of those students who from Italy would go otherwise abroad, but also students from abroad. This was a bet. Work is still in progress. We cannot say that we won our bet. However, even now, in this regard, numbers, figures give us a lot of trust. Why? Because you will be 50 in this course, but 240 students asked to be admitted to this course. So, as the rector has said, you have been selected among a great number of students who witness, in our opinion, the fact that this idea of creating a 3-year course in English in comparative European international legal studies is something that has been already appreciated by students. And this gives us, as I said before, a lot of strength, a lot of trust, and beats a little bit, I would say, somehow our unconsciousness in launching a program that is brand new, is completely new, is founded mainly on the teaching personnel of this law school, which is also another very important thing. And in order to understand whether we were able to do this, we started 2 years ago teaching some of our main courses also in English. Also, this experience gave us a lot of strength and trust, because we offered 50 positions, 50 posts for the students of the 5-year course who were allowed to study in English some of the main courses of our faculty, and 3 times 50, so 150 students applied in order to be admitted to these courses in English. And this created, of course, some problems to us. Some of our colleagues told us that we have to continue also this experience in parallel with the 3-year course in Comparative European International Legal Studies. We tried to explain that we made an enormous effort, all of us, to set up the course. This took us 3 years of hard work, and I can never thank enough those who worked with me to create this new initiative. Not only, I would say, the teaching staff, part of them are here, but also the administrative staff. In particular, I would say I'd like to thank Matteo Rossaro and Sasha Ilic, who were extremely helpful in giving us good advices, in some time, I would say, behaving as our first advisors. And so now we are here after 3 years of work, of continuous up and down. I can confess that we were also assaulted sometime by the fact of being worried of what we were going to set up. But I think, and I'm sure that with your contribution, and this is really fundamental, this course will fly. Will fly for you, will fly for the University of Trento, will fly for the School of Law, because this initiative is something, as I said at the very beginning, that is matching your request, the request by the students to have together with our 5-year course, and we are very proud of our 5-year course, together with this 5-year course, something new and different from it, that will allow you to study for 3 years in English, legal issues, and also, of course, the topics that have to be taught in a course of comparative European International Legal Studies, such as economics, such as history of law. But I'm sure that with the effort of everybody and your substantive dedication to your future studies, this initiative will reveal all its potentials and will also give you a lot of satisfaction. So I have to say many things, but I try to confine myself just to tell you something before giving the floor to the colleagues, to reassure you about what the course, the BA is, and what you will do with your degree in the future, because this is one of the main issues. And this is also something that we took care of, because we understand that you are making a bet, and we are making a bet. But you are making a bet on your future. We are making a bet on the future of the institution, which is also very important for us. But I understand that individuals can have also more reasons to be worried about what is going to happen in the future. In this regard, I can say immediately that I reassure you. I am very happy to let you know that in recent times we have received different letters of intent or proposal for agreements by other universities all over the world who since now say that they are ready to accept you as students once you get your BA in order to study, for instance, for an LLM or a JD or other type of degrees that could be interesting for you. At the same time, I would also like to recall you that here in Trento, there are also very good international courses, such as those delivered by the School of International Studies that has been set up, and I'm also co-responsible for it 20 years ago, which is located at the Faculty of Humanities, and where some of us teach or used to teach, and they have a master in international European studies. You can access there after you have your BA, and this is also one of the reasons why we thought setting up the BA was a good idea, because when I came back in 2011 from the United States, I was teaching also at the School of International Studies, and I was asking the students, where you come from, where you come from, where you come from. Nobody, except one German student, was someone who had a legal education background. So we thought that also in order to feed, so to say, the School of International Studies, this course could be extremely promising. At the same time, as I told you, we received a letter of intent or proposal for agreements from the University of Dublin, the University of Birmingham, the University of Glasgow, and in some of the meetings I held recently, we have also received some proposals from Moscow University, and I'm confident that once the course starts, I'm sure that there will be other proposals. So you can be reassured that your future is not in danger. You will have a very strong legal background that will allow you to study law if you want to study law, but will allow you also to study economics, to study politics, to study other topics that maybe are not directly linked to law. And this is something also, I would say, quite modern, but in doing this, I think that we also give an answer to the request by students to do something different from what is usually and traditionally done in law schools. And this is also the reason why we are very proud about the idea we had and how we were able to set up this course. What else? I would say that maybe the best thing is, after all of us have intervened, to open a short Q&A in order to answer your questions. But before doing so, I'll ask Paola, as Deputy Rector for Teaching, to address this audience. Thank you, Paola.
Many thanks, Dean. Needless to say that I'm very happy to be here today. It's a very important day for us, for all of us, after working so many years on this project. I'm happy being part of this community, I would say. Community made of course law professors, but also students like you, and you are welcome into this community today. As we could say, front runners this new program. And I'm particularly thankful to our dean, Professor Nesi, for being what could be said like a sparkle of this new program, but then a driver of this working group for such a challenging project. Of course, in a faculty which has been known already for many years as one of the cradles, maybe the cradle in Italy, of comparative legal studies and the crossroads of many European international law projects today, which are carried on by our reputed colleagues. And we think that time has come for thinking that legal education can unleash new opportunities for you. You as students who are ready, seems so, to take the challenge, to think that, that legal rules and principles do not stand within the barriers of a state, but can influence each other through the barriers of state sovereignty, and to think that it's important to address legal reasoning from the perspective of a European Union and a world citizen, so to say. So this is why we welcome you here, but we do not only welcome you, we are looking forward to working with you to drive this program towards new horizons, thanks to your help. My personal wish is that you can enjoy this experience as part of this community. I really strongly invite you to engage into university life, not only what happens within this classroom, but outside of it. Enjoy the faculty, enjoy the university and the campus, enjoy the town, and maybe, hopefully, beyond. We think that there is much to learn, to discover as law students in the world, so really welcome and good luck with this. And see you soon, because we'll meet in second semester.
Thank you, Paola. Thank you, Paola. I now like to ask whether Elena or Marco wants to say something, just to welcome our students. Yeah? Professor Marco Dani.
Okay, I join Dean Nesi and my colleague Paolo Iamicelli in welcoming you, first of all. And I would like just to add a little note on what has been said, because presentations were very exhaustive and I don't want to repeat things that have been done. I probably be enough boring in my classes, so there's no use to exacerbate. But the note I would like to add is very important, at least in my view, and it is the spirit that I think it would be important to have the moment in which you start this course. The spirit is the spirit of an experiment, because we have invested a lot of efforts, resources, reputational capital in this project, but we are not 100% sure that this will succeed. For a simple reason, because part of the bet, said Dean Nesi, is also your reaction, your feedback. And I think there are two attitudes that probably would help us in doing our job. The first one is that you are patient. Mm-hmm. There certainly be things that will go wrong, will be a little bit difficult. It's a working process. You are inside something that is starting, and when things start, it's on the one hand, there is a lot of enthusiasm because it's a new thing, but it's also an incomplete thing, and there are things that could be corrected, adjusted, and so here comes the second attitude. The second attitude is be proactive. Tell us if there are things that don't work. Don't complain between yourself. That's allowed, of course, but come, feel free to come to me, to my colleagues, to Professor Nesi, and if there are things that have to be sought out, we are here to help and to learn also, because this is an ongoing project, and this is extremely important. So, with this attitude in mind, again, I repeat my welcome, and I'm glad to start to work with you in 30 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Elena, do you want to add something?
Just a few words. Thank you very much. I'm always been very optimistic with regard to this course, and we will do our best as a professor, as a teacher, but of course the positive, the great result of the course is also up to you. So we will meet in the afternoon, so I will tell you a lot about it. Also because I'm a comparative law professor, so I'm supposed to have an easy task, because I'm teaching very interesting topics like English law, African law, and Chinese law. So I'm supposed to have an easy task, but this is not really true. So we will work hard and we will work together, but please remember that also your effort will be important for us, and because you are building up your future profession, and if you want to build it up in the best way, you always have to remember that also the first stone must be very well done. So please put all yourself in this course, and I'm sure that we will succeed together. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Elena. Of course, I guess that you are already familiar with the services that are provided by our university, by our law school. Something that is new and is very exciting, at least if I were a student, I would be very excited, is the fact that thanks to an agreement between the university and the autonomous province and the transportation system, with 50 euros you will be allowed to go all over Trentino, which is something absolutely extraordinary. This is the first year that this happens, so you can travel with 50 euros, not only in Trento, but also you can go to Madonna di Campiglio, for instance, or you can go to the Lake of Garda, to other wonderful places that will be part of your future life for the next 3 years. And since mobility is something very, very important, together with sport, together with social life, I strongly encourage you not only to study, but also to take advantage of being in a wonderful place, to have all these activities which are, in my opinion, not always marginal, not always subsidiary to the success of your studies. Since we have to speak English, we could also sometimes speak in Latin, and you know that there is a maxim that says, mens sana in corpore sano. Translation for those who are not familiar with English, with Latin, I'm sorry. You can have a healthy mind only if your body is healthy. And also another issue that I would like to recommend is to be open, because your mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if you don't open it, okay? So, but in this regard, I will say that we will make all the possible efforts to help you, but at the same time, and I repeat what has been said several times, you have to help yourself, okay? What else? What else? What else? I would like to take some questions if you have them for 10 minutes. Then we leave because Professor Dani will start his course. So if you have any question, please ask them so we can try to answer, leaving aside the fact that also in the future weeks and months we will be ready to answer to your questions. I understand also the caution by my colleague Marco Dani when he says that he's not 100% sure about the success. I'm a little optimistic, so I would say that I am 110% sure that we will succeed. But I repeat it, this can happen only if you help us in finding the tune, in trying to find the best solutions to the problems that will be surely come with this new initiative. And if this happens, I'm sure that also Marco's caution will disappear in a few weeks.
I didn't say I was skeptical.
Cautious, actually. I don't say that you're skeptical. I say that you're cautious. So, questions? Maybe I repeat your question because we are recording these meetings. So the first question by Antonio refers to the internships. Maybe Paola can answer.
Thank you for your question. Well, this is a time that goes, I think, between, it should be more sure later, but 1 month to 3 months. Well, it is counted by weeks, in which you have the opportunity to work within a possibly international institution or a national one who means your interest in legal studies, in which you may apply your knowledge in a working environment. You may do so. I mean, it's not a mandatory activity, but it's a voluntary one. Yeah, and I strongly propose and suggested. And you will invited to do so to plan it for the second half, I think, of the course. So we are working on the specific rules and procedures to enact, and on some agreements with institutions that can offer you this opportunity.
If I may add something, since we thought during our preparation work that internship is one of the crucial issues of this course, because we hope that you are able to start immediately from the second year, I would say, to these experiences. We also decided, and this is something maybe you don't know, but this will be ratified by our Consiglio di Facoltà on the 27th of September. This exam system for you, the exam calendar, is different from the others. Why? Because we want to push you through internship, working experiences. This could be done only if you have enough time to do this. So, in spite of the usual desire by students to have as more exam session as possible, we will have only 2 possibilities in May, June, and 2 possibilities in December, January. And then there will be a sort of parachute of session for those who were not able to pass the exams in September. So you have also to plan and to prepare yourself for this new type of approach to exams. This could sound a little odd for those who thought that exams can be given any time. We say that exams must be passed. They should not be given, okay? They must be passed when you are ready. And we hope that you are ready at the end of the courses you follow. In this regard, it's also very important, it's crucial, that you attend your courses. So we cannot say that it's compulsory, because there are some rules that do not allow us to say that following the course is compulsory, but for us it's more than compulsory. So prepare yourself also to this. We told you that this is going to be hard, and this is going to be different from other learning experiences. But we also think that if you have strong motivation, you are able to understand why we propose this type of approach to the university life. Okay? And we are working a lot also on the internships. We have a network of facilities and also of contacts. And one of the offices you will consult in this regard is the Job Guidance Office, because they take care of internships. We have agreements with institutions such as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Italy that allows you to go abroad or to go to Rome to work at the ministry for a certain period of time as intern. We will develop this. You can also go to New York or to Sofia. Bulgaria will be the next chairman of the European Union, and our friend Stefano Baldi, who is the Italian ambassador there, is pushing in order to have good students. I think that you will devote the first year mainly to your studies, but we have a lot of contacts all over the world, and we will favor you to go abroad because this is part of your program. I mean, it's not, it's at the same level of exams, of courses. Working experience is something fundamental, because this is something missing, unfortunately, in Italian universities. And we think that you have to study, but there is nothing bad in having internship, also because this will allow you, after 3 years of courses, to have in your CV some little bricks that one after the other will allow you to do the best choices in your future endeavors. Okay? Other questions? Just a moment, because we have, there is the mic.
Oh, hi.
Can you introduce, please, yourself?
Okay. My name is Randall. Name is Randall.
Okay, Randall. And you come from where?
You mean locally, or you mean because
originally?
I'm originally from Costa Rica.
Very good. Wonderful country.
Thank you.
And wonderful people.
Thank you.
As far as I am concerned.
Everybody says that.
You agree
okay.
with
Yeah,
me?
yeah, some things. No.
Okay, Randall, go ahead.
Okay. Talking about the future, I know you already told about the master that you could do and all this, but do you have any particular plans? Like, I know it's still early to talk about it, and we are just here like kind of gambling, but I talk about inside the Faculty of Law, there will be a specialization, or I don't know. Do you have any, just sort of idea of something that you would like to do in the future inside the Faculty of Law?
Thank you, Randall. You ran too fast. I think that it was already a miracle that we were able to create this course in Comparative European International Legal Studies. Who knows, maybe if this initiative has success, we could also propose further steps. But as far as I'm concerned, I will be your dean for the next year, then it's over, and I cannot be re-elected, luckily. So those who will follow in the deanship and also in, of course, in responsibilities, will give you maybe the answer. But of course, it's clear that if things go well, there could be other proposals, maybe also coming from the students. However, we are sure that with your BA, you can go all over the world and it will be recognized, it will be immediately, it will give you immediately the possibility of continuing your studies in other environments. As far as this faculty is concerned, I cannot say more than what I've said. I said even too much. And what I could add is the fact that this faculty, I always, together with my colleagues, I always share the idea that an experience such as this course in Comparative European International Legal Studies cannot be made but in Trento. Because 33 years ago, when the faculty was, when the School of Law was set up, it was set up with some features that at that time, as maybe today, as far as CEILS is concerned, allowed some of our colleagues to say that we are crazy, that they were crazy 33 years ago. They were crazy because it is unconceivable, this is what they said at that time, it is unconceivable that you create a law school where comparative European international legal studies and the comparative method as such has to be preeminent. That was something that now has been, I mean, many universities, many law schools are trying to follow this path, but of course, if you don't have the human resources and the organization to do these, it is quite difficult for others to continue on the steps of the law school of the University of Trento. So, you know, there was very recently, last June, I think, a proposal made by the Conference of the Deans concerning the possibility of setting up a master, so a 2-year course that is inspired by our experience. And of course, the Consiglio Nazionale Universitario, the CUN, the organ, the body that presides over university matters and creates a relationship between universities and the Ministry of University, immediately gave a positive advice. I got in touch with the president of CUN, one of our colleagues, who is a jurist, and she told me, but of course this is not for the records, that Trento gave the idea, and others are followers. I hope this is true, and I hope that the new experiment they are doing elsewhere, not this long work of preparation that we did for CEILS in 3 years will be successful for the rest of the Italian university. But I'm not so, in this I'm very skeptical. Thank you, Randall.
Just to say, we wish we could keep you here in 3 years' time in the Faculty of Law and in Trento, but we are afraid that after 3 years of this study, you will be looking forward to experience new programs abroad. So, see you in 3 years' time. And
other questions? Everything is clear, it seems. So we wish you really all the best, and we know that your best will be our best. So we are on the same boat now, and best wishes. Just a last word. We will have a formal inauguration of this course maybe in the month of November, but we will discuss among us and we will let you know, okay?
thank you.
But course starts today, so from today you have to follow the courses.
You're fully committed.